And actually, this helps you viewers because the more there's a Roomba around here doing shit, the more time I have to help bring out these awesome shows that you watch. So, want me on air more? Make my housework easier.
Well, not one part because I'm allergic to his claws, so he's got to do a lot of the cleaning when it comes to vacuuming and shit.
My dog's a hairy bush. True story.
I love the silence there.
Okay, back to the question. Why do you think that chronic mental illness starts before the age of 14? One half of all chronic mental illness begins by the age of 14 and 3/4 by the age of 24. I heard someone had an answer. J-Bo!
That I do. So, I am no doctor, so this is purely speculation, but around the age of 14, like, you're going through puberty pretty strong, and a lot of the chemicals in your brain could be becoming imbalanced at that time as your body is going through the changes, and then most of it would be set in later because by the time you're 24, you've had the time to have a heartbreak, this problem, that problem, get beat up by a girlfriend or a boyfriend, whatever it is you're dating, and there's time there between the balance of your brain. That a lot of 14-year-olds nowadays are fucking doing more drugs than just smoking weed. I know I started doing acid when I was 14, so that could also have something to do with it. And it's just your brain chemistry is changing and you're doing things that are allowing it to be altered even more.
Good point. Now the question is, how much is affected by the environment in which you grew up?
A lot of it. I would say at least 50%.
You think so? About 50?
I think about 50% is your living environment, like your family, the home you grow up in. 25% is your outside environment, like your neighborhood, things like that, and outside sources. And then I think the other 25 is pretty much what you take out of it and make it.
Okay, good point, good point. What do you think, JP?
Ta-da! Like, that's exactly like what I would have said, like word for word.
Right. Well then.
I have noticed, as J-Bo said, no doctor, from personal experience, I have noticed the trend that a lot of the people that I know do suffer from any kind of mental illness. Again, it starts that early on, but I've also noticed that that's usually around the time where some kind of traumatic event will also take place too. I know a lot of us.
Talked in our last show about.
Yeah,
right.
A lot of us were raped. A lot of us were molested. There's a lot of people out there who were beaten as children. There's a lot of people out there who were neglected as children, and Lord only knows what kind of effect that's going to have on, just as J-Bo said, the growing adolescent mind.
I want to add something to that. Okay, so you take the other people that have been molested and stuff, and now that are adults that grew up not having a significant amount of parenting and resources that they probably should have. Now they're having kids. And now not only is their shitty parenting having a real effect on this, but now it's causing neglect and lack of parenting on the next set of generations because parents weren't taught how to be parents and shit like that, if that makes sense.
Very, very, very astute thinking there. I really like the point of views and what you guys have brought up in this. Now, the other part of it was 3/4 by the age of 24. Now, do you think that, like, you kind of touched on it with them having babies? Okay, when you're hitting 18, 21, 24, that's when life sets in. Like, the mandates of the society we live in, the getting a job, the careers, the family, and all the other pressures land on it.
Instead of accepting your child that's hyper wants to go run around and they don't want to sit still because that's what society has put on our children. So, he's got ADHD, let's put him on meds. I think it's a lot of that. And so when you get to 24, it's already set in your mind, like, for me, like, something was wrong with me. Like, I didn't know what was wrong with me, but I know something's wrong with me because I got parents that are putting me in this home and that home, taking me to this doctor and that doctor, and you know what? Who's to say there was really anything wrong with me to begin with? But now there certainly is something wrong with me because I was pumped with all these medications. It's been in my head for the last, okay, well, I'm 33, but since 24, by 24, I already knew, like, there was something wrong with me. I was crazy because if I wasn't, my parents wouldn't have put me here and there. And so, instead of separating myself like I should have from what my parents did and things along that line and what happened growing up, I should have started for myself. Walked out of my mind like, oh, well, because they said this and I'm on this medication, then something must be wrong with you. And I think pounding that in your children and younger kids' head, by the time they're going to start their own family and shit, it's already in their head, so things are only getting worse because they already believe that something's wrong with them.
Good point. Anybody else want to touch on it? JP.
So kind of like a form of Munchausen syndrome, where you don't believe you yourself think you're sick, but because you've been told by someone who's a trusted loved one that you are sick over time, that you just say, you know what, forget it, I must be sick, I'm crazy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Any ideas on that, J-Bo?
None that I can articulate at the moment.
Okay, yeah, no worries. All right, well, let's check out these percentages here. It's kind of, these are the prevalence of mental illness by diagnosis. It says, there's 5 of them here, or 4 of them here. It says, 1 in 100, that's 2.4 million American adults live with schizophrenia. It says 2.6%, which is 6.1 million American adults live with bipolar disorder.
Well, I want to know on those statistics, like the first one was schizophrenia. Is it mental schizophrenia or is it drug-induced schizophrenia?
Good question.
And what was the percentage of the testing regular patients and people that are drug-induced of any form?
True, good point. We also have 6.9%, that's 16 million American adults live with major depression. And it also says 18.1% of American adults live with anxiety disorders. Now, I was talking with my brother, the simple one, earlier today, and he was talking about a lot of people that treat mental illness like a trend. So when they talk these numbers with depression and he's talked these numbers with anxiety disorders, like you questioned the schizophrenia one, I have to kind of question these for those that, because to me it seems like we're a culture that's gotten really soft, overly sensitive on stuff, and I think it kind of detours away from people that actually suffer through these things. You're going to have a bad day. You might have a bad week. It does not mean that...
And I really feel that everybody, to a certain degree, suffers from some type of anxiety and some type of depression. I mean, look at, when they have babies. People that have never been depressed in their life, they go through postpartum depression sometimes. And you do that, and that sometimes people have it for 5, 10, multiple years until, babies are grown up and they're still stuck in this postpartum depression. I believe everybody has some type of anxiety and form of depression in their body, and it just depends on how they deal with it and bring it out.
Which is true. I mean, when it does come down to it, only you yourself really know, And if you're trend chasing out there, just stop it, because you're actually hurting people. You're not helping anybody whatsoever. That the people that really need help.
Correct.
Needing help. Speaking of needing help, I think right now would be a perfect time to start hollering out some phone numbers right quick, and then we'll hop back to the percentages.
Sounds good to me, guys.
I mean, to me, personally, after someone, okay, me personally, I'm not going to speak for anybody else. Me personally, having sitting here listening to not only memories that I've got that I have to recant, recall and everything like that, but to hear other stories and it kind of starts hitting certain things that trigger it to set in. So I medicate. You know what I mean? So once I medicate, I feel it's best to give other people who don't have the opportunity to medicate. For instance, you have numbers you can call. You know, you can call us. We've got that number out there. You can always call the suicide hotline number. That's 1-800-273-8255.
I don't think anybody's aware of this, but Suicide Hotline also has a LGBT community hotline number for them, and it's 1-800-246-PRIDE, which would be 1-800-246-7743.
There you go. You said you had one for
I have 3 pages of numbers.
domestic violence awareness.
Okay, so the domestic violence, it's a domestic violence hotline actually.
There we go.
And it's 1-800-799-7233. And there's also a number for if you speak Spanish. And I'm waiting for Michael to run back in here and say it.
Okay.
Gonzo to the rescue.
This is the domestic violence. Or what I just said. Because of domestic violence.
Okay. Eso es para doméstico violencia. El número es 1-800-5782. Basta. Uno más tiempo para ti, para las personas hablar español. 1-800-5782. 1-800-BASTA. There we go.
That was sexy.
Right? I don't even know what he's saying, and I'm like, ooh.
Hi, Bobby.
I also have a mental health hotline, and that's 1-800, or my bad, it's not 1-800, I just lied to you guys. 1-877-604-6819.
Now, if anyone's looking for a good time, call 8675-309.
Hey, no joke on that. I literally remember every zip code out here, even though the numbers are wrong to that rhythm. So I remember zip codes. I'll be over talking about 86409. Legit.
So I got a really important number to give out there. This is for not only teens and young children, but also for adults. Self-harm. If you have self-harming issues and you need somebody to talk to, you should call 1-800-366-8288. That's for adults, but if you're a young child or even a teen, you can call 1-800-723-8255 or 800-273-TALK.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 273.
I was like, wait, no.
Right. So now we got the number right. You can put down the knife and pick up a phone, make a phone call, and they're going to talk you down. They're going to talk you out of it. You know, go get a tattoo. Don't scar yourself.
In all seriousness, he's dead ass right. He's dead ass right. Put that knife down. Put the gun down. Step off the stool. Whatever you're about to do, don't do it. Your life is worth much more than what you think it might be. Just take that time. Call us. Call any of those numbers listed. I'm sure we'll be able to find a way to get them in the description of the video or in the comments of the video. Whatever it takes, we'll get you those numbers. But dead ass serious, please do not be afraid to call out to any one of us, anybody out there. Do not be afraid. You're not alone, and you do not have to go it alone.
Not at all.
I just want to put out there that if you hit me up, you need to let me know that you were like dead serious and actually need help. Because I'm a sarcastic asshole when I tell my husband I'm going to go slit my wrist in the